Now let's expand upon our health monitor checking a little bit further. So let's first open a web browser, a new tab here, and let's access our web farm. Okay, great. So we are connected, and this is the contents of what we see on the main page. Now keep in mind, this is only a test page, but this is what our clients are expected to see when they connect to our web farm. Well, here's a scenario that does happen, and checking only the web port isn't good enough. So what happens if this HTML page is removed or overwritten with something else? Or what happens if the HTTP service is crashing, not displaying any content? Maybe it shows some error page instead. Well, monitoring just HTTP will not check for that. As long as the web services are running on the server, the big IP will assume that the server is still available and will continue to forward client requests to it. Well, we don't want that. So what we would do in this video is to set up a custom HTTP health monitor profile. And in this profile, the big IP will perform its own web connection to each server, acting as a client. And it will get a page something like this and see the contents here. Now, of course, it will have a different server number, but more or less, this is what our clients is expected to see. So when we look at this page, look at the text on this page, we want to choose a string of text that is unique. Now, we don't want to use the word server, which is here and here, because the word server is very common, and receiving an error page may contain the word server. So don't use server. Now for us, the word abyss, which is right here, that is unique on this page. So this is the string that we should check for to ensure that our web application is working properly. To set up a new health monitor profile, let's go to the monitor page, which is located here under local traffic and monitors. And here we will create a new profile. Let's first put in a unique name that we'll use to identify this in our configuration. Okay, and for the type, it will be based on the HTTP profile since we are dealing with web servers. Next, under configuration, you see different attributes like send string and receive string and so forth. So the send string means that the big IP will do a HTTP GET to pull the web content from each server. This is what our browser is doing when we are accessing our web farm. Now, based on what the big IP receives, it will look within the web contents for the word abyss. So for the receive string, we're going to type in abyss. Okay, and there is no username and there's no password required for us to access the website. Also, the default interval is set to 5 seconds, which means that the big IP will check each web server every 5 seconds to ensure that it is available. If you want the interval to be longer, you can make those changes here. So we are now finished. So let's go ahead and let's add this new monitor. Let's say finished. Next, we will associate this monitor to the servers in our HTTP pool. Okay, let's go into the configuration. And here under Health Monitor, we will select our custom monitor that we added. And let's go ahead and remove this. We don't need that anymore. And let's update our changes. Now let's confirm if our web servers are still available in our pool. Okay, let's go here. And they are all available and online. Now let's create some problems for one of our web servers. Let's pick on web server 2 since we were there before. And let's go to the root folder. And this root folder contains all the files that loads the web pages that we see. So let's edit the index file. And here we will replace the word abyss. Let's go ahead and copy that. We're going to replace this word, and anything that has this word in this file, we want to replace it with like our company name, RHG, Route Hub Group. And let's say a replace all. Okay, so now that means that this file has nothing that contains the word abyss. Everything will basically say RHG for its replacement. So now let's exit out and let's save our changes. Okay, now doing that, when the Big IP checks Web Server 2, it will see that the string of Abyss does not exist in the web content when it connected to it. So as a result, it should put Web Server 2 offline. Let's refresh our page here. And doing that, you will see that Web Server 2 is not available, failing the health monitor check. And you see the same details on the pool statistics page that we have done many times before. Okay, let's go to pools. And there it will also list Web Server 2 as not available. Let's check out the local traffic logs. So let's go to System and down to Logs and Local Traffic. Let's go to the most recent page. So we'll go down to page 74. Oops. Okay, and there you will see that it was reported down. Web Server 2 has changed to a status of down. It was up for about 9 minutes, but now it is currently down. So let's go back to the pool statistics page so we can easily refresh the status of our pool members. Let's go back to Web Server 2 and let's go back into our index file and let's change the text back to Abyss. So let's go up here to replace and we're replacing RHG and we are replacing it with the word Abyss. Make sure we spell this right. Okay, so replace all and let's go ahead and exit out and save our changes. Okay, so that is completed. So now let's refresh the statistics page here. We'll set this to like 10 seconds. And let's wait for the health monitor checks to complete. After a few seconds, we now see Web Server 2 back online. And that will conclude this video for learning how to use and set up custom monitors. We will be adding another health monitor when we add a new FTP pool and virtual server.